do to me?
You a fuck nigga, stay up in your lane.
South side, been ready. North side. Oh, love one and one love. I don't care what they say about. Don't care what they say about. My damn lighter. Hey yo, what's good, you guys? It's Boomer with Bali Star, and today we're getting into Blackie Speaks. Sukihana is weird too. You feel me? Now he put out a video earlier describing the whole YK Osiris Sukihana ordeal. I watched that by myself, but this one, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just saying that to let y'all know, like, you know, I'm aware about the situation going on right now, and I think, cause at first I watched a video of him like I guess like lightly giving Sukihana just like a kiss, like, you know, a peck on the lips, and I was like, this is what people going crazy about. But then I saw the full thing, and I was like, oh no, man, that's wild as F, right? You know what I'm saying right there. That shit crazy left. You feel me? I was like the way he just like laughed at it. I was like, in public, like, dude, you're on like what seemed to be like a big platform, just doing some wild stuff. Like, I'm like, bruh, ain't no way, bro. These dudes just feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let's get straight on into the video, man. Make sure to leave a like just below the video if you like it, you know what I'm saying? If you enjoy it, subscribe if you're new so that we can join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. Let's get straight on into it, man. Also, real quick, man, the brand new album, The Cursed Blessing Deluxe, out right now. Check that out after the video. You dig? So, yeah, let's get straight on into it. Let's go.
Sukihana is kind of a weirdo too. Something we gotta talk about. So I'm sure you might have been following this recent story that's going viral, which involves YK Osiris and another female rapper.
Yeah, no. What I also saw on his earlier video was that, like, you know, he showed an earlier video of her. I remember seeing that, you know, saying like she was the girl that was like, sold my woo to the woo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's her. Oh, snap. Okay, nah, I see she really did it now.
By the name of Sukihana. I dropped a video on it yesterday which got demonetized and age restricted.
I mean, it's like back when I saw the video, I don't know. I don't really care much for it. I was just watching it, but now that it's come up here again, I was like, oh, okay, so that oh shit.
We are talking about it once again today. Look at your boy being dedicated. There are a couple of developments I want to talk about, and I'm also going to be coming in with some fresh perspective after finding out a couple things. Just a quick little breakdown of the story, which is currently still going viral. So this clip of YK Osiris went viral where he was seen forcing himself on rapper Sukihana. He did so by trying to force a kiss on Sukihana. He sexually assaulted her. She was resisting and really not trying to have it. YK Osiris, however, looked entertained by the whole situation. I still find it very strange how he had that smirk on his face. He just looked like he didn't really give a damn about what he had just done. As a matter of fact, at one point we saw him laughing while he was walking over to one of his homies like he just cured cancer, but in reality, we saw what you did, bruh, and curing cancer is far from what you did. You sexually assaulted another woman on camera, laughed about it, had a bunch of dudes, a lot of them grown men, justifying this behavior. I really hope none of y'all got sons, because if their father thinks like this, imagine what kind of terror that little man gonna cause on a playground. So, that was sad to see, but then again, everything comes down to mindset. If your mindset is YK Osiris did nothing wrong in that clip, that tells me that you are no different from him given the right situation. In this video though, we're going to talk a little bit about Sukihana herself, because there's a couple things that have now been brought to my attention that I want to discuss. Before we do that, obviously like the video and subscribe, okay? Just can you do that for me? Thank you, I appreciate you. But let's go over YK Osiris' apology. Yes, you heard it right. He ended up apologizing yesterday by putting up this post right here. I want to publicly offer my sincerest apology to Sukihana. In an attempt to be playful, I misread the moment and violated Sukihana's boundaries. I understand the importance of my consent. I don't know if you do, and I'm embarrassed by my behavior. I take full responsibility and have made multiple attempts to apologize. I have the utmost admiration for Sukihana, and it was never my intention to disrespect her. So there's the apology. I don't think it changes anything about what happened. Whacker Cyrus exhibited the behavior of a guy who doesn't take no for an answer, and that's probably the biggest fear most
Like
women
on
have.
camera,
But if I ever find myself
in
in a
public.
situation where I'm in a confined
Exactly like the Cat Williams joke. It's like, hey, do you know that we can see you?
space with a man who won't take no for an answer, how would I ever get out of that? Because there are women who sometimes don't. Most, of course, do. But even then, it ain't so much about just making it out physically. It's about what kind of trauma being put in a situation like that can cause to you mentally. Something I, as a man, can't fully really understand and grasp. Because as guys, we just don't have that fear built into us. So when I say that this is a lot of women's biggest nightmare, this is true. If you don't believe me, just have a conversation with the women you love and the women who love you. So when I say that this apology doesn't change anything, I mean it. Once you exhibit this type of behavior, you'll never be looked at the same, and you shouldn't be. Because you showed us who you are. Like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I'm going to believe Whacker Cyrus this first time, and I will not be fooled by the contrition he expressed. Just like how a sloppy thief will get caught trying to play with you and your family, you wouldn't believe said thief no matter the amount of remorse expressed, right? Would you? I'm sure you wouldn't. I wouldn't, because if there's one thing that's abundantly clear to me in my life at least, there's certain things you don't give people any wiggle room to wiggle themselves out of. Personally, I'm not going to give Whacker Cyrus the benefit of the doubt, because I seen how you move, bro. I seen it, right? Not only that, Whacker Cyrus is known for being a clout chaser. He's known for being the guy who'll do anything that requires set attention, so his track record is consistently out of balance on a moral level. With that being the case, let's take a moment to divert the attention from Whacker Cyrus to Sukihana. Because here's the thing, Sukihana is not better than Whacker Cyrus. She's actually as bad. I'll tell you why in a second. But before I do, I gotta make this abundantly clear. What happened to this woman, regardless of what she did after the fact, is not acceptable, period. And I want to start off by saying that because usually on these kinds of videos where you're holding a woman accountable for her actions, there's a lot of guys who flood these types of videos because they have a strong hatred for women. I want to let you know and make it very clear that I am not one of y'all. And just right there, about 1,000 niggas who thought we were the same clicked off the video, and that's the point. I'm trying to keep a certain demographic of people away from my channel. I don't want a bunch of dudes on here who are looking for someone with a platform who'll scold a woman because they don't fuck with women like that. There's so many channels like that. You know, I'm not like that, and I can't really relate to that. So, back to what I was saying. Now that we got that out of the way, Sukihana is weird too, man. And I say that for this reason. It was brought to my attention that Suki, with the good coochie, twerked on a 10-year-old boy for a music video. I'm going to put the picture on the screen right now, which will make this video not so family friendly, which also means YouTube is going to suppress this video. So, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment, okay? Anyway, here it is.
I mean, I did the Cat Williams joke on this too.
With her ass on a little kid's crotch.
Because
Looks like
most
it was
of
from
these things,
music
yeah,
video, and
all you
yeah,
people
she's
do
not
behind
all
the
that herself,
scenes.
okay? Don't let what happened to her not make you see what's in front of you.
Like I remember, like a certain celebrity had, you know what I'm saying? It was like what a certain celebrity's son's like 8th maybe birthday. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, the celebrity got like a bunch of strippers and, you know what I'm saying, or just girls that were willing to, like, you know, twerk on his son, you know, who's 8 years old. So it's like, I mean, this was caught, you know what I'm saying, out on the internet too, but it goes to show, like, nah, like, people do all these stuff, like, you know, behind the scenes. It's like, no, but it's like, such a gray area, you know, like, this particular thing is a gray area, because it's like, I don't know, because the way people think nowadays is like it's all out there, so it's like, bro. But no, yeah, they do this all behind the scenes, you know, like, you know, like what they catch on camera is just what is the norm to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about all fronts. You feel me? So yeah, but it's like the moment, like, you know, it's made public, like public is like, bruh.
You're seeing right now in front of you is a depiction of a grown woman putting her pussy on a little kid's crotch. Just based off of that fact, this would make it sexual abuse against a minor, because a child is obviously not capable of giving consent. This is not something I magically conjured up. This is something that actually happened. And Suki profited off of this. So she made money on the behalf of subjecting a little kid, to this. The next part of the video is a rant, and I want to say this. Two wrongs don't make a right, meaning because of what she did, that does not make what Wacky Osiris did to her right at all. I think people are so focused on the get back and the revenge, I've completely lost sight of the big picture. This is really not about these two individuals. They just happen to be in the center of this because of their despicable actions. This is really about calling out the predatory, marauding, and bad behavior that we see in other people, so we can then create a safer society so kids are walking safely in these streets and they don't have to worry about adults preying on them. We as a collective, men and women, have to come together, point out the BS, and make sure that dangerous behavior is decried for the greater good of the next generation. People really think these stories that are going viral are a joke. No, this is actually reaching a lot of your children because they got smartphones now. It's reaching our little brothers, our little sisters, our little cousins, and they see these things going down. They also see how grown adults are responding to said situations, and that right there sets the precedent for what they will deem as good or bad going forward in their lives. So we're talking about a generational thing right here. That's why I take this shit so seriously. On one side, we got a bunch of grown men justifying sexual...
Another reason why I'm so glad I grew up the way I did, because it's like, I was introduced to all this stuff before I even had like a smartphone. I'm like, I was already. I didn't want to finish. Fuck, I'm gonna finish it. Before I had a smartphone, I was already smart. You feel me? So it's like, I grew up in like, the way things was before smartphones. You know what I'm saying? Up to the time that we had a smartphone. By that time, man, I was like, I already know what's good, you know what I'm saying? How to handle myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up, you know what I'm saying? Just, going through life like everybody else before the smartphone. So it was like, yeah, and that's like, now you see all this stuff happening, and it's like, dang, kids are actually going to grow up, like, watching all this stuff early, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. This chick I was with, you know what I'm saying? She grew up like a couple years after me. And, she, like, by the time she was in high school, like, she was already up on Instagram. And that, that was when Instagram had just started. So it was like, you were just starting to see stuff happening all around you. When you're in high school, you know what I'm saying? This was around the time, you know what I'm saying? You just hit puberty already. So it's like, you seeing all this stuff and like, sure, you probably whacking it at 12, 13, like, I'm pretty sure when she's in high school, they're like 12, 13-year-olds like whacking off to like, or let's say 12, 13-year-old homie, you know what I'm saying, dudes, whacking off to fucking Vita Guerrero or like, I don't know, who's probably at that time, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj or something, you feel me? So it's like, yeah, and so it's like when she was in high school, she was introduced to all this stuff. So it's like, then again, in high school, so, but we still have access to all this information, like so much information. You feel me? So it's like, let's go back to the 12, 13-year-olds, when they're growing up seeing Instagram for the first time, you know what I'm saying? Like, they already, like, know what's up, but not really know what's up, because it's like, yeah, okay, now you're going to experience being, like, a man for the first time, you know what I'm saying? Going through puberty and, really, like, you know what I'm saying? Getting through the motions of, like, the teenage life and shit. So it's like, seeing all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can't grow up that much earlier mentally, but grow up that much more mentally. But freaking, I don't know. You just have access to all the information, and it's like you're still trying to figure the world out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Like, it could be confusing. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, now let's see. Like, let's think about the 12 and 13-year-olds nowadays in this day and age, saying all this and like having access to things like these certain podcasts and the type of audience that certain podcasts go to. For example, what he said earlier about like the type of demographic he didn't want to attract. You have stuff up like that now, and 12 13 year olds just see this and they could join any one of these, like not even knowing if it's really the right thing to do or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, they're this just the age that they're growing up in now, and it's like, as a kid, most kids, most kids and teenagers, we're gonna do what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna do what they want. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, teenager, yeah, I did whatever I want. Like, I'm Jamaican, you feel me? Like you don't know how strict my parents was? Like, I was a rebel. I did what the fuck I want. Like, yeah, I got mad whoopings for it. So yeah, I learned mad lessons, nigga. But that mostly came from doing what I want. You feel me? So it's like, trust me, not every kid is gonna grow up in a Caribbean and an African household, and they're not, especially in this day and age. I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, again, I grew up without smartphones, so yeah, whoopings were bad. I wish I had this when I was growing up, smartphones and shit. Nigga, I'll be like, domestic abuse. Y'all niggas lucky on that note. But, yeah, bro. I just learned the lessons that much quicker. Became like, you know what I'm saying, more of a man, more of an adult. And it's like, it's crazy because, like I said, kids are gonna grow up seeing these freaking, again, audiences that certain creators, show. You know what I'm saying? Content that creators show. Well, yeah, it's like they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like our future have like access to stuff like that, and it's gonna make them think a certain way before they even know really what's up with life. You feel me? And again, that's what makes me glad to have grown up the way I did, and see what's good with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm saying I feel lucky. Makes me feel blessed. Highly favored, for sure.
That's why I take this shit so seriously. On one side, we got a bunch of grown men justifying sexual assault on a woman because of how she presents herself. On the other side, and I got some smoke for the women too.
But it's like now, yeah, nah. Parents really gotta watch what their kids consume now more than ever, because of all this information. So it's really up to the parents to make sure the kids grow up really knowing what's up before they get access to all this information, And I'm pretty sure way more conversations to be had too.
Women letting other women slide with inappropriate and predatory behavior because she's a woman. Because you guys are so hell-bent on seeing other women win, even when it's at the expense of a little boy. Personally, I think when it comes to the hip-hop culture, man, we're just so far gone. The lack of morals in the culture is reflected in the real world. And then when you point it out, it's suddenly a problem. Ain't it funny how when you address the actual problem, that's the problem? And then people wonder why we're so far gone? Everybody wants to look at this other stuff on the outside while completely ignoring the source of the issue. First of all, we gotta bring back shaming. Bring back shaming 2023. How about that? How about when we see behavior that's damaging to our society and our youth, we look at it with contempt and shame it, and we make sure that everybody who's watching knows exactly that's wrong. For that to happen, we gotta get out of our ego and not make this a man versus woman thing. We approach it from a place of wanting better for the next generation. We gotta look out for the impressionable minds who are susceptible to the deception of the so-called leaders, who are merely here to make their bag, even if it means leading the youth down a path of destruction. See, now we're at a point where we can't really afford to tiptoe around certain things. We gotta address it head on, and we gotta make sure we stand on it 1,000%. Because if we don't, the lack of morals, principles, and ethics that's so conspicuous in the culture is gonna keep on growing, and before you know it, we're way off the deep end. I mean, we're already off the deep end now, but I'm saying we're gonna be way off the deep end. All in all, Sukihana is a weirdo too. I mean, we saw what she did to that little boy. With that being the case, she did not deserve what was done to her, and any grown man who uses that as an excuse to justify what was done to her, I hope you keep the same energy if, God forbid, the same thing happens to any of the women in your family. Some guys might say, the women in my family don't carry themselves like Sukihana. This happened because of how she presents herself, and that's the energy she attracted. Let me dismantle that for a second. If you think a woman needs to be promoted promiscuous for her to be subjected to sexual assault, you are completely in the dark of how this world works. Anything can happen at any point. A woman can at any time, at any place, be the victim of this because there are predators in this world who, no matter what she's presenting, can decide to force themselves on her because he's stronger and has a wicked mind. So if you think the women you love are automatically safe because they don't put their sexuality at the forefront, you are insane. Just like you don't need to be a gangbanger to catch a bullet to the face, you don't need to present yourself in an overly promiscuous way as a woman to be the victim of sexual assault. I want to take a look at this tweet from Meek Mill, who had a horrible stance on this thing. Meek, as a response to this story, said the following: "Don't do this to him, please. He a good kid." He's talking about YK Osiris, who, mind you, is a 24-year-old man, not a kid. Just slap him and he gotta let you something. We don't need our young bulls tore down for mistakes. Mistakes. That's funny. In this hypersexual era, I support Suki. Hold that shit down on some street shit. It's gotta be one of the worst tweets all year, and I've seen a lot of those tweets. The backwardness of calling a 24-year-old man a kid who, wait for it, made a mistake in this hypersexual era. That not only completely strips away the accountability from YK Osiris, but that also implies that what he did is somewhat okay because of the culture we live in. What does us living in a hypersexual era have anything to do with another grown man strong arming a woman in the way he did? Also, what the hell does the streets have to do with anything? Meek Mill is a 36-year-old man talking like this. Do you see how far gone we are? I think all this is absolutely insane, and I'm sure you can tell from the way I'm sounding right now. So I don't have much to add. I guess case in point.
And it's crazy because like not even like kids that are growing up now, like, you know what I'm saying, like he's saying with Meek Mill, kids before kids now growing up with this, like having all this information, acting certain ways, you know what I'm saying, as a cause of all these online antics and stuff. It's like even people like me, and you know what I'm saying, even older people too, certain older people gain access to all this information, you know what I'm saying, being online, social media, all that stuff, and you know they can act the same way that the kids that are growing up in this age are. They can act the same way, you know. A person my age can act the same way. A person like way younger, like in age, you know what I'm saying, whether it's young or old, could act the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have access to this. It's just that, you know, you really gotta hold down what you know, what you're about. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's even easier for older people to get lost in this sauce, just because, you know what I'm saying, they could have grown up like 60 years without internet. Once they get a little access to it, dude, it's like it can become an addiction. You know what I'm saying? It can become like crack. You know what I'm saying? Like them boys out in the street. You know what I'm saying? All them people out in the street. You know what I'm saying? Doing all this stuff. It's like, bro, how old were they before they even started? Some be like, what, 35, and then they start. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and then they live their whole lives as that. You know. Just what they start at 35, they can live their whole life as that. So I'm saying the same thing for the internet, you know, could start at freaking, because again, you could have grown up to like 30, 40, 50 years, you know, without internet, and once you get like, you know, a little taste of the social media and, you know, all this information going on and all these communities and stuff and whatnot, it's like, oh snap. How did I grow up without this? No, my whole life is this, and just forgetting everything that happened within the 40 years without it, and just like be consumed in this now, be consumed in this, and in the mind state this can give me now. So it's like, it's really a choice, really. You know what I'm saying, for the people that did not grow up with internet. You know what I'm saying, and or but if you are growing up in the right way of this internet age, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, grow to be normal, you know what I'm saying, I mean, like, just like person, you know, walk along the street and it's like, it'd be like, you know, it's like it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're out doing stuff you want to do, running errands, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you outside, you touching grass, all that type of shit. Honestly, if you get to a good age, you know, becoming a man or a woman, or and again, bro, you know what I'm saying? All of that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, growing up without any age, it's like you didn't really have all that. Now it's like you really, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, if you grow up, you know what I'm saying, to become an adult, and you know what I'm saying, you're a regular going outside, go to work type of guy, you know what I'm saying? Is regular, you know what I'm saying? It's really just a choice on who you want to be from there. You feel me? So, yeah.
Anyway, I'm really over this shit, man. Sukihana is a weirdo, so is Wacky Osiris and anyone who defends their actions. Any thoughts on his story overall, what
I just
Sukihana
said all
did,
my
and what I
thoughts.
said? You agree with me or do you not agree with me?
Come on, man. And here's something for that too. It's like, if you know what's up, it don't need to be said. If you know it, you don't say. If you say it, you don't know it. That was on the song by Wiz Khalifa, by the way. But like, it was a feature though. I forgot his name. SB Phipps or something. Alright, you guys. So that was Black Speaks with Sukihana is weird too. I done said all my thoughts throughout this whole thing, man. So y'all let me know yours down in the comment section down below. Y'all know it's Boomer with Bali Star. Make sure you leave a like just below the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, so that we can join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. Hey man, brand new album, The Accursed Blessing Deluxe, out now, man. You feel me? Make sure you go peep that out right now. I don't know what to do. I just want you to come to me.